Hey guys, welcome to the 77th edition, of the Animated Girls Profile Confidential. And I think the title obviously gives it away here. We are talking about Della Duck. Yes, that's right. We are finally talking about Huey, Dewey, and Louie's mother and Donald's sister/twin sister, Della Duck. And without further ado, here we go. So, exactly who is Della? Well, originally, as far as Disney continuity goes overall, she was created in 1937. Her first reference was, as far as a lot of us know, was in the 1937 on the, I think, what was it, 1930s short film, 1938 short film, Donald's Nephews, where she sends her nephews to go live with Donald. And she's referred to as Dumb Bella. So, yeah, that's what they called her then. Anyway, Della was shown and seen in other interpretations of the Duck family, Donald Duck, Sunday strips, comics, and stuff like that. Now, when she was introduced in the Ducktales reboot, they played off the fact that they played off the comic storyline that she went into space and basically got stranded in space after test flying a rocket ship that accidentally propelled her into near light speed. That, basically caused her to disappear. And and this is first alluded to in a Dutch language comic. 80 is Prancing, created to celebrate Donald's 80th birthday. Now, again, when Della was introduced in the series, of course she's introduced through an image first. It's in it's towards the end of the pilot, I think, where it's Louie. I think is it Louie or Dewey? I think it's Dewey, I think it is Dewey. But basically, Dewey ends up, he sees this torn painting, and he sees Donald, and he sees Scrooge, but then he lifts up the piece of the painting that's torn, and he sees his mom. And that's the first inkling he gets. He's like, Mom? Because, it catches him by surprise, wait a minute, is this who I think it is? So basically they play on the fact that they want to know more about her, and eventually we do actually get to see her in present time, and we find out that basically she wasn't lost. She was kind of lost in a storm, as far as we know. According to this, Wikipedia, it says, in the DuckTales Season 1 finale, Della was depicted for the first time in a speaking role, revealed to have survived the cosmic storm and still living in the remains of her rocket ship. So basically, again, they played off the whole light speed cosmic storm deal, but in this case, it shows that she did survive. So basically what happens in the second season, she has reoccurring appearances, beginning with the episode Last Christmas as a time travel episode, and depicts younger versions of her and Donald. And it's in that episode where Donald calls his sister Dumb Bella at one point, which was a reference to the first acknowledgement of her in the 1930s. Now, around February of 2019, according to Wikipedia, Disney began promoting a special event, the premiere of the first episode of DuckTales, to focus on Della. The episode promised to finally reveal what happened to the character for the first time since she was lost in space, and it's called Whatever Happened to Della Duck. And it's described as thrilling, tragic, powerful, and defining. And it basically gets to the heart, according to the AV Club, it gets to the heart of Della as a character even before the tale appears on screen. Entertainment Weekly even depicts the episode as one of its end-of-the-year best, or 30 of its best television episodes of 2019, praising the reveal of Della Duck and writing that this whole time, DuckTales has been hiding its best character off screen. Now, according to Wikipedia, following this, Della was able to return to Earth in the repaired Spear of Selene, but subsequently had trouble bonding with her triplets, whose names were apparently meant to be Jet, Turbo, and Rebel, as she had no actual experience being a mother. Her attitude being more focused on attempting to bond with them as the cool mom. That's what Wikipedia puts it. It says the later half of the season explored her developing role, such as encouraging Huey to explore more varied activities and grounding Louie. Okay, so yeah, it is Dewey that, she has more that just kind of discovers her at the or discovers the image of her at the end of the first episode. Again, it says the later half of the season explored her developing roles, such as encouraging Huey to explore more varied activities and grounding Louie after his latest get-rich-quick scheme to steal lost treasures from the past nearly causes a serious temporal paradox. It says in the Season 2 finale, the moon aliens Della encountered attempted to mount an invasion using technology reversed engine from Della's rocket, but although she tries to hide her children away, the returned Donald convinces her to join them in fighting off the invasion, leaving the alien mothership stuck in orbit between Earth and the moon, while the rest of the invasion fleet surrendered. And again, I got all that off of Wikipedia. But overall, Della, from what I could tell, though, is especially when you get into the third season, is still developing as a character. Yes, she is encouraging to her son Huey. She does bond with Dewey. She does have to be Rep Memphis. Not Rep Memphis. Easy. That's kind of a word, isn't it? She does have to be reprimentive with Louie. But she's also becoming somewhat like a mentor to Webby, to this version of Webby Vandercrack. So she's kind of playing that role of for her kids as the cool mom that kind of is basically understanding who what they're into, what they'll like, but also at the same time being the cool mom. She also had to be like, okay, I'm the cool mom. I can get along with you guys. I know what you guys are hip to and all that, but I also got to be a real mom. I gotta be one that basically puts her foot down when needed, especially again when it came to grounding Louie for what he did. But also what people like is the fact that she is a mentor to Webby, not because Webby didn't just have Scrooge to look up to or Beakley. She now has Della as well, and it's someone that Della can interact with as as someone that can encourage her, along with Beakley. She also has Beakley and Scrooge to kind of be like the ones that say, Della, it's cool if you make mistakes, and everything, but as long as you own up to them. Beakley was the one that kind of encouraged her to be like, look, it's one thing to be the cool mom and wanting to bond with your kids, but sometimes you have to be, you have to put that coolness factor aside and be a real mom, be a real parent, and basically, level with your kids on what's right and what's not wrong. Because one of the things about Della, when it came to her kids, is she was hesitant to want to give them any kind of punishment or be firm with them or aggressive. But it's Beakley that's like, look, they're still going to love you no matter what, but sometimes you got to put your foot down on them. And she does, like I said, when it comes to Louie. However, like I said, even after that, she's still looked at as the cool mom. Like she's basically hip to what what the boys like. She bonds with them with everything that they like. Like she bonds with Huey when it comes to video games. She bonds with Dewey when it comes to having favorite songs. Like there's a scene in the series where they sing "Stand Out" from Goofy Movie. And of course she does get along with Louie, but she has to be a little bit more cautious with him because each of her kids represent a part of her. Like with Huey, he represents the explorer part, like the exploration part, like wanting to discover things, learn things. He's got that part from her. From Dewey, she has that, Dewey inherits the adventurous side of her, like the, wanting to, the outgoing, the adventurous side, the fun-loving. But then with Louie inherits her mischievous side, the side that basically looks at, any opportunity, looks at any opportunity to take, but do it in a way that's kind of under the table sometimes, and goes hopefully unnoticed. So each of her kids, because she wants to bond with them in some way, is because each of them represents a trait she has within herself. And overall, I think Entertainment Weekly said it best. She is a great character here, because you see in one of the recent episodes, The Trickening, that she is just like, in love with the holiday of Halloween, and she wants her kids to have the best Halloween ever. And Donald's like, no, I can't let you do that. And you just have them kind of fighting with each other, just stumbling around like siblings would. It's pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool. Overall, the feeling I get with Della is she's basically the outgoing, cool mom that knows what's hip, knows what's cool, knows what the kids are into, but also, when needed to be, will have to come to reality and realize, okay, that's all great and everything, but we have to take things seriously at times. And I think over time, even in this season, even though some, like I think, Cartoon Awesome channel said that it doesn't seem like she's, focused on that much, I think she's going to get a lot more focus than they think. And over time, we're going to see her develop even more so to where we'll see more of that adventurous, mischievous, hip with it, cool mom kind of factor come into play. But it'll be balanced out with being the kind of mom that has to be grounded in reality and realize that sometimes she's got to make decisions that may not be popular even with her kids or with her loved ones. And I think that's what makes her a great character, because she is still developing. She's still growing in herself. Basically, what Della is, when you think about it, she's still a kid, but in a grown-up body. And because she's been away so long, she's still, she has to mentally still grow into that role of a true mother. And sometimes, she needs help in doing that with, the likes of Beakley and Scrooge and all that. So overall, though, Della Duck, can't say any more than what I have. She's definitely a great character. I mean, obviously, if you haven't seen the series as much, you could tell that she is just one of those characters that, like, you could get really behind and enjoy and become a fan of and want to see more. You want to learn more about her. You want to, you want to see her, develop more and come into her own. Come into her own eventually, grow in, and basically grow into the character she can be, and if not more so. Heck, honestly, I'll tell you this: if they ever decided to do a adaptation of Slime OK, You're OK from Darkwing Duck, but in this continuity of Ducktales, and it was Della that got doused with it, I could see that mischievous side of her coming out and having fun with it, having fun with the ability to melt down into a puddle, shapeshift into different things, split herself apart. I could see her having that fun. So, anyway, though, guys, that's all I can say on Della. All I can say on Della Duck from DuckTales. Let me know your thoughts on the character. What do you like about her? What do you potentially could see come out of her in the future, personality-wise? And do you think maybe if they did a remake or a loose adaptation or their own take on Slime OK, You're OK from Darkwing Duck for DuckTales, and she was the one that got affected, do you think she could have some fun with the powers and all that she would temporarily have? Basically what I mentioned of what she could do. Let me know down below, guys. Thank you all for listening. And that is it for the 77th edition of the Animated Girls Profile Confidential. Have a good day, good weekend, stay safe, and I am out. God bless. Take care. And again, let me know what your thoughts are on Della as a character overall when it comes to her run currently in the DuckTales series. So have a good Friday, guys, and I'm out.